Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to give kind of my reaction, sort of a more personal reaction to the Me Too movement. Now, in response I've written a couple of blogs that I have linked. One of them is basically a long list of confessions of acts of sexual misconduct that I've done. And the reason I wrote that was I'd been really conflicted about that one. I was thinking, I shouldn't make the issue about me. It's really about women, and maybe I shouldn't be openly confessing about things I've done. Maybe now's not the right time. But I also realized I didn't know or realize that what I was doing was harassment at the time. So, if I didn't know or understand, then that meant that other and probably still don't know or understand that and are possibly doing things like that. Then I wrote a follow-up basically giving kind of more of an analysis of sort of the source of the problem that it's actually my one written blog on my blog page that doesn't end where I say shalom, basically because I say at the beginning that I'm opening it up for criticism. And so I guess it's always going to be a draft because no one's really, well, there haven't been any women who've really given criticism for it, except for one who's saying, you seem to be, instead of saying criticism, maybe you should say critique. So I don't know if I've made that change. And yeah. But anyway, sort of my more personal reaction. Like, years ago I made a video talking about the sexual objectification of women, where basically I said it's a problem, and it's like I'm thinking now, it's like, yeah, I kind of intellectually knew about the societal problem, but I didn't really, until October 15th and October 16th, I didn't really get this, really see it, this emotional feel, but, like so many women on my Facebook friend list posted Me Too, that really had a strong effect on me. There have been a few nights where I've actually gotten maybe no sleep at all. Maybe one or two nights, somewhere maybe an hour or so. But I've lost sleep thinking about it. Which is good, actually, because I know that several women have lost sleep from being sexually assaulted, sexually harassed. So, I mean, what I've dealt with is nowhere near as bad as what women have dealt with. And I really haven't dealt with anything. Something else, though, I'm kind of just rambling about it, but, yeah. I've been really angry at myself, and really upset and angry at myself about some of my past actions, and pretty much all of them are mentioned in the two links posted, except for one thing that took months before I even remembered it, and I'm like, wow, that's probably the worst act of sexual assault or harassment that I've done, and it took months before I realized that one. Wow. And what it was I had a gig at, well, there was a bachelorette party that was attending a performance that a men's dance group that I perform with was doing, and we have a dance where we invite a woman onto the stage, and she watches the dance from on the stage. then afterwards, well, what we do now is we simply give her a kiss on the hand, or if she's not comfortable with that, we just like give her a courteous bow. But now we actually always talk with her before, find a woman in the audience before even doing the dance and talk with her, saying this is what happens, and ask if she's comfortable. But back then we'd invite her onto the stage. We wouldn't inform her about like the kisses on the hand or on the cheek afterwards. Or usually what I would do is I would kind of kiss her on the hand, pull away, and then move up the arm. One guy would suck on her knuckles. But at this gig, I had seen something that someone not even in the group did at another one of our performances, where he dipped the woman and kissed her on the mouth. I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't realize that was okay. So at this performance, we invited the bride-to-be on stage. We did the dance for her and kind of all got in line, like to kiss her on the hand or on the cheek. And I attempted to dip her and kiss her on the mouth. And when she kind of leaned back and moved her mouth out of the way and laughed with her mouth wide open, I gave her multiple kisses on the cheek, or maybe on the neck. So, wow, that's... It took months before I remembered that. That's possibly the worst thing. I was like, wow, what the... That, and also on the interwebs, the Aziz Ansari case reminded me of some things I'd done on the interwebs. There was a website called Zwinky. It was kind of like people made up these kind of cartoon characters, and they would basically pretend to be that they were in this little cartoon land, and technically we weren't supposed to use it for cybersex, but a lot of people did. There were a couple of times where I'd invited a woman to my room, and she'd say no to sex, so I would suggest then another highly erotic activity that would involve me typing out, "removes my clothing." And, I mean, although leaving the room would be a simple click of the button, I mean, technically I didn't physically violate them. I do wonder if they were scared or confused. Yeah. I think most of the cases with celebrities and politicians have been like, I've kind of felt it's like handing over a Kleenex or handing over painkillers. It's not dealing with the problem, it's just dealing with symptoms of the problem. So, overall that's my attitude about dealing with it. But the Aziz Ansari case, I think, really opened up a lot of discussion on consent. That's kind of the big thing, consent. And that's something, that's pretty much everything. Kind of on a really personal note about the past few months as of the making of this video about Me Too. There have been a lot of women that I've interacted with who've a few that I've gotten together with in person to discuss the issue. And one of them I said to this in person, one of them I thanked her over Facebook, but something that I've been so grateful for is that there are there are several women who trust me far more than I trust myself. They've been victimized by things similar to some of my past actions. They've been victimized by men who've done things like what I've done to other women. And there have been times where I felt like I was going to break down and cry thinking about this. Um, and I've thanked them. And I mean, a lot of men have claimed to be feeling attacked, but on my end, I feel like I've received a lot of gratitude and a lot of "don't be so hard on yourself" comments. And it's been amazing. And yeah, wow. I guess I'll leave it at that. Thank you for watching. Shalom.